Welcome back to Theresa.is.Dead. My name is Theresa and I'm very much alive. And if you're new here, welcome. I have an awful garbage mouth where I tend to use fuck as a comma. If you're not into that or weird shit in general, baby, this is not the place for you. Feel free to accept the video here, no harm, no foul, but I'll remember our time fondly. If you want to jump straight to the overall review of the product, I'll leave a time code down below. Feel free to jump ahead. So the other night I was really fucking exhausted. I was pretty much at work for about 12 hours or so. I am so fucking tired. The last thing I want to do is take a fucking train ride home. I go downstairs, I call for my Uber. Guy shows up in a couple of minutes and he seems like a pleasant guy. He's not really talking to me, whatever. It doesn't have any music on. I'm just zoning out, looking at my cell phone, trying not to fall asleep. Like that's literally what's happening here. As we're approaching the Midtown Tunnel, he just slowly turns his whole body and goes,
"So where you from?"
"I'm from Queens."
A queen from Queens.
You're being very generous, but I like to think more of trash bag with thank you.
Saucy.
So at this point, I just kind of put my head down and I just stare directly at my phone. However, I could feel his eyes just burning a fucking hole into me. So I pick my head slowly back up and I see that he's staring at me in his rearview mirror like... So I felt obliged to bite. "Where are you from?"
Thank you for asking. I'm from Brooklyn. You can say I'm a king in Kings County.
Come on. That's literally, I smiled and I looked back down at my phone.
"So, queen, do you have a king at home?"
Slowly pick my head up and go, yes, I do. I do have a king at home."
That's too bad, 'cause I was looking to make you my queen.
I was like, oh, okay, where's this ride going? Like, no. First of all, do you know how much student loan debt I'm in? Okay, come on. I might look nice on the outside, but bitch, I'm garbage. So I just was like, sorry. Went back to my phone.
"So, queen, do you have any kids at home?"
Without even thinking, I just said, yes, I do.
So that's why you don't want to leave your king.
Do you want to see a picture of my children? I would love to show you my children. Let me show you my children because you're gonna love them. They're so adorable. They take after me. Like they're precious. They're so precious. Do you see them? They steal my heart every time I see them. Their little faces, I just want to eat them right up. Can I tell you, I've never felt a human being's asshole like fucking clench as fast as it did. And like suck back up into his body because I felt like that's the sound that I heard. So for the next 20 minutes, I just went on and on and on about my 3 beautiful children who look like me but have the temperament of my husband and how I'm really kind of considering putting them into private school because you know the public schools around here are not the best. And that's what I did because I figured, you know what, if you're gonna make my ride uncomfortable, I'm gonna do it right back.
Beach.
And I don't give a shit. Needless to say, he sped the rest of the way home, dropped my ass off, and before I could even close the door, he was peeling away. That made me feel so fucking good. Anyway, that was my day. How was yours? So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about the MIDAS Cosmetics Lemonade Palette, which is this little beauty right here. But before I give you my overall thoughts, let me read you a little bit about the palette first. Lemonade Palette retails for $18. Our first monochromatic palette. You asked for it and it's finally here. This all yellow palette has a total of 9 shades, 5 mattes and 4 shimmers. Lemonade is perfect to quench your thirst all summer long. These shades have the same iconic formula as all of our other palettes. So for $18, what exactly do you get? You get this cute, adorable little palette, which I have to say packaging wise, very simple, really pretty and clean, and I appreciate that. The first thing I thought of was actually Makeup Maniacs, because Makeup Maniacs last year created a bunch of these little quads, and I think they came in a fucking shitload of colors, but I only picked yellow and green. This is the little yellow quad right here. I fucking love this. I love Makeup Maniacs as a whole. So when I first saw this palette, I was like, immediately thought of this. Not to say that I think this is copying this. It's definitely very similar. However, I will say that this is definitely cuter because I do love that there's a giant little lemon slice there, and I love in the back of it, it actually has all the shade names, and it says,
"When life gives you lemons, make lemonade."
Which, by the way, lemonade's overrated, and come for me in the comments, I don't give a shit. Unless it's Arnold Palmer, bitch, I don't fucking want it. Now, with that said, when you open this little bubby up, you get a nice little mirror right over here, and you get your 9 shades. You get your 5 mattes and you get your 4 shimmers. Let me talk to you a little bit about quality wise, and then I'll kind of talk a little bit about my experience with this palette because I kind of had two different experiences with it. Color story wise, I think this is actually really perfect. There are a lot of different shades of yellow in here that I think are a little bit different than say the ColourPop one. The ColourPop palette seems a little bit more gold than it does yellow. Of course your beach got it, but I'm waiting for it to fucking get here. It's still processing my order, those pieces of shit, but I digress. So watch out for that video because then I will definitely kind of compare these two side to side. Now with that said, color story wise, I think this is actually a really nice healthy representation of a lot of different yellows, a lot of different undertones, and I also like that this brown is actually a brown yellow, which is very, to me, not something that you really find. If you do find a brown within a yellow palette, it's either like a real chocolatey brown or it's definitely more of like a caramel brown, but this is straight up like diarrhea and I love it. Which I know is a great description, but seriously though, tell me this doesn't look like White Castle coming out of you, okay? Yeah, I said it. Come for me, I don't give a shit. But I actually really do like this brown because it's truly a fucking brown yellow. You never see this shit. This is gorgeous. Yes, it's a little reminiscent of White Castle, but whatever. I love White Castle. Fuck it, I love their mozzarella sticks. I don't give a shit. So for the mattes in this palette, I have to say that I actually really like their formula. Formula is very soft, a little bit powdery. Swatch-wise, not so good. They actually don't really look that good at all. It actually kind of looks very streaky. But again, don't judge a book by its cover, bitch, because on the eye, they look actually really good. And what I like about these yellows is that the yellows in itself blend very well together. However, White Castle down here, I like him if he's by himself, but if you want to put him on top of something, he gets lost in the shuffle. And I don't know why that is. For example, on this outer corner, I stamped the shit out of that brown color, but it looks like it's not really there. It actually looks more of like the gold shimmer as opposed to that brown color. That was my only real complaint with the mattes, is that I felt, while I really did enjoy working with them, I didn't like the fact that this one just looked weaker on top of the other shades. I thought that kind of sucked. I'm happy to report that there is minimal fallout on this guy, minimal kick up with the exception of this mustard shade and the brown shade. There's a little bit more kick up in the pan, I think because they're a little bit more saturated. But the other shadows, I didn't have a problem with any sort of kick up, any sort of fallout. My face didn't look like I had jaundice. It was actually pretty lovely. Considering the last few palettes I've had have been Fallout City, this has been really, really nice. And it's also very, very easy to use. Now for the shimmers, here's the thing. I really enjoyed these two gold shimmers down here, and I really do like this lemonade yellow shimmer. This one sucks because, see, it's like, ugh. I really do love this color in general. I think it's very, very pretty. My problem with these shimmer shades, unfortunately, they're very, very powdery and they're very chunky. That white shade, when I packed it on the lid, it looked fine. However, when I use a little bit of setting spray to see if I can like punch up the color, it looked okay. But then when I started to try to like move the product and started to like spread it across my lid, it looked patchy as fuck. So that's the kind of shadow that you just have to place it on the lid, leave it be, walk away, and never turn back. If you're trying to spread it out, it just doesn't look that good. I don't know, there's just something about it that just seems so like lackluster to me. However, that shade as a highlighter, beach, sign me the fuck up, okay? I look like a wet alien slut. I fucking love it, all right? Take me to your leader so I can fuck him. I love it. I just think that as a highlighter is perfect, and especially for someone like me that looks like uncooked chicken, this looks fantastic. So I'm a huge fan of that. Like I mentioned previously, the other shimmer shades I had no issue with. You know, they are a little bit chunky, they are a little bit powdery, but I had a better experience with those as opposed to the white one. But if I could just use that white one as a highlighter.
Bitch, I'm fucking sold. I don't fucking care about anything else.
Now with that said, I kind of want to talk about the two experiences that I had with this palette. One, the first time I used this palette, I used it over concealer base and I didn't set it. And I was like, what is this shit? What is this shit? I fucking hate it. Like I really, really cannot stand this shade, and I didn't understand why I was having such a bad time with it. So I decided, you know what, let me take this off. Let me try a completely different base because concealer is just not driving with it. So then on this side, I used the MAC paint pot. Let that dry for a couple of minutes and then started working. And I was like, oh, okay, this type of formula really responds well with more of a dry base. Great. So then I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see if I can do a little bit more with this. So then I used the P. Louise base on this side and let that dry for a second. I didn't set it, I just let it dry and then started playing with the eyeshadows. And I have to say that I think I like this palette with the P. Louise base the best because I feel like the colors are way more vibrant with that white base as opposed to the paint pot. And I think that's what I really, really like about this color story is that there are actually a lot of good fucking yellows in here, and there are very different yellows. Over this base, you could actually tell them apart that they don't look like one type of yellow. On this side, I really wanted to focus more on that white Newcastle color and really use that mustard color and all that good stuff. I actually really enjoy both looks. I think I kind of gravitate to this look a little bit more because I liked all the different yellow tones in this one. Because this one, I feel like I've done this look 100 times, whatever. Although the brown is definitely unique, this I feel like is just way more fun. I don't know. I just love yellow. Yellow is just such a good fucking color and such a difficult color to make. So with that said, for $18, I think this is a really good price point. And I have to say what I like even more is the fact that you're actually able to use coupon codes on top of this. So even though this was a new release pre-order, I was able to use a coupon code. And I actually chose Smoky Glows because I love me some Smoky Glow. And I really hope that something does go to her because I love to show my fucking support. But if it doesn't, sorry. But I used your code. Yay! In any case, I was really, really happy to do that. So I definitely think for less than $18, this is a fucking really good palette. And I really love that there are different tones of yellow in here, which is really, really unique and refreshing. So if you're looking for an all yellow palette that actually has different tones that are not just gold, pick this up, check this out. You really don't have anything to lose. And I think for quality wise, it's well worth the money. So anyway, I'm really excited to check out the ColourPop palette compared to this because I really do like ColourPop's formula. However, I'm not really a fan of that color story. So I'm really curious to see who's going to be the winner of the yellow palettes. Be on the lookout for that video whenever the fuck ColourPop wants to ship me that fucking palette. On that note, I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below if you're interested in getting this palette, if you've heard of Midas Cosmetics, if you like them, if you don't like them, if you're over yellow, which if you are,
unsubscribe.
The fuck out of here. I don't got time for your shit, bitch. This is the yellow channel, bitch. What do you expect? On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it as always. Feel free to like, comment, hit that motherfucking subscribe button. It's free. And hit that bell icon for notification of all my future posts. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Discord. On Thursdays, I do a podcast with my best friend and my husband called The Miserable Three.
You like my shirt? It has burgers on it.
Oh, that's
why you look like a snack. I'm a meal.
That you are.
Classic.
Super size, please.
Did you just call me super size?
And I also appear on my husband's Twitch. So if you want to see me just yell about shit while playing Paperboy, feel free to check me out.
I basically came on her with my newspaper.
I love how much you made yourself laugh.
Oh, God. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So I'll see you little pumpkins later. Bye.